So, strategy 3, manage your emotions. Being emotionally aware and recognizing how we can potentially react in certain situations will help us to exercise more self-control. It also means that we'll be more aware of how your responses affect your behavior, affect other people. Bodhi Sanders, a wisdom warrior, reminds us, be smart, not impulsive. By that, he's referring to being in control of our minds rather than our minds being in control of us. 95% of the time, our brains are working on autopilot, which means that we react rather than respond. How often do you actually say or do something which later you regret? How often do you say something then later go, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, or I wish I hadn't done that? And that's a really great example of a time when your mind has been in control of you. So the question is, how do we actually take control of our mind and allow ourselves to choose rather than just react on impulse and our minds actually take control? When you're facing a challenging or stressful situation, your emotional brain, which takes control of your fight and flight survival instinct, kicks in and takes control of your mind. Your rational, logical, cognitive mind stops working as it becomes overwhelmed with the emotional reaction. And your mind has been what we call hijacked by your emotions. It's referred to as an amygdala hijack. And when we are in an amygdala hijack, then access to our rational and logical thinking actually becomes increasingly difficult. I talk about it going offline. It just, we can't access it anywhere near as easily. So the amygdala is the emotional part of the brain which regulates our reactions when we're under any kind of stress or perceived. And that's really important because it doesn't have to be a real threat, just our brain perceives any kind of doubt, uncertainty or threat. And the result of the hijack is an automatic reaction from our emotional rather than our logical cognitive brain. And at this point, our cognitive brain, as I said, it's offline. The power of emotion overwhelms rationality. So how can we actually stay cool and under pressure and remain in control so that we can choose to respond? Well, one of the simplest, but not necessarily the easiest ways of intercepting the reaction is to step back and take a few deep breaths. By taking a few deep breaths, we're calming down our internal state, which signals safety to our amygdala and allows the rational and logical brain to come back online. And that in turn then allows us to take back control and make an informed choice rather than just that automated, impulsive reaction. And we could talk a lot more about that. It's not just about taking a few deep breaths, but that is certainly something that will help because it starts to help to calm down our amygdala.